JC here again for RetireCheap.Asia. I'm always trying to get interviews for you all of people that have made the move over, and get their opinion on how it's working out, and see if it meets their expectations, if it's what they thought it was going to be, things they didn't expect that on the good side or didn't expect on the bad side, any kind of challenges, and also the things that they appreciate most about making the move over here. Now, you want to go ahead and introduce yourselves?
Okay, my name is Lyle Mead, and this is my wife, Noi.
Hi, my name is Noi. I'm from Thailand.
That's right, and we'll go into that in just a second about your past. But now we'd been in contact before you came over.
Yep.
And we sort of communicated about some of the things that you wanted, as questions and things you wanted a little bit of information on before you got here. Were you sort of prepared when you made the move? Now, you've been here how long now?
A little over a month.
A little over a month. Were you sort of prepared when you got here based on the research that you did and maybe any information I was able to give you?
Yeah, I think pretty much. I mean, there's always going to be little things here and there. But overall, yeah, I think I was together. We worked things out, and we were pretty well prepared for just about any major thing. So,
except for the glitch when you got here and your luggage was lost for about 24 hours or so.
Yeah, that doesn't help, but that's definitely something out of your control. So.
Okay, and so how long had you been planning on coming over before you actually made the move?
Well, the actual planning coming to Thailand started probably about a year ago, and that was after we came over here on vacation.
How long were you here on vacation for?
Well, I was here for 2 weeks, and I had to go back, go to work. The wife and son were here for 2 months, and that was, I think a good amount of time for her to finally see what it was really like here.
And had you been here before?
Myself, I have been here for a few months working in the military.
Okay. And how many years ago was that?
It was like 20 years ago.
20 years ago, okay.
So,
and now the question for you is the same question. How long had it been since you had been here? Because you were living in the States, correct?
Yeah.
And so how long had it been that you were back in the States and hadn't been here to Thailand?
Got over 46 years.
Wow, over 46 years. So we'll get to how you felt about when you came back here in just a minute.
Okay.
We'll get sort of sequentially of what happened. So you made the little trip over, sort of get a feel for things, and did that sort of solidify it that, yeah, we're going to go try this?
well, honestly, for myself, I already kind of knew. I've been, being in the military, I've been to so many countries in Asia. I felt more at home being just about anywhere in Asia than I did in the States.
Wow, that's interesting.
I felt more comfortable being over here.
Why?
You just don't feel threatened, and the people typically are just so much more friendlier, nicer, and willing to do things for you. I mean, some of the countries I've been to, some really third world countries, the people and the families have nothing, but they will give you whatever they have to help you out.
Yeah, it's
and
refreshing,
it's
isn't it?
not something you see in the States.
Yeah.
You never see that in the States.
We never have enough.
You want 50 cents? Are you kidding?
Yeah, right.
Here, if that's all they have, they will give it up.
Yeah.
To help you out.
Mm-hmm.
If they know that you're in trouble, and it's just a whole different mentality of the people.
Mm-hmm.
And
there's a lot we can learn from. I really think we need to institute as a mandatory thing in schools. When I was growing up, we had a student exchange program, and I don't even know if it still exists anymore, where a student from the United States would go stay with in a foreign country at a student's home, and that student would come to the United States and stay at the home of the American child.
right.
And I want to say, I'm not sure how long they stayed in each place, but I think this is phenomenal. It's something we definitely need to do, because those are the people that are going to make some of the policy changes in the future.
Right.
And they need to understand what we have there that we shouldn't take for granted,
Yeah.
that is a good thing, but also what we're missing, and try and figure out how we can have, because I always say the potential of the United States is phenomenal, but we strayed away from what the original intent was of our Constitution and things like that. And we need to go back to what we were doing to start with. It used to be a land of opportunity, entrepreneurial spirit, and now they've regulated it so heavily that you can't even start a small business anymore. It's almost impossible. And the spirit, the American spirit, is gone, and we're sort of holding on. I sort of equate it to, I shouldn't say this because I'm not slamming the U.S. at all. I really think it's a phenomenal country, and I think we have the potential, really. We just need to get back on track. But it's sort of like, to me, how Volkswagen relied on the reputation of the Beetle, for so long, and they were producing vehicles that weren't any good. And now later on they reinstituted a Beetle, which was really a good car again. And I think we need to do that. We're living on a reputation at this point, and we need to go back to where people looked up to us as a country and as to the citizens of the U.S. And I think we sort of lost that. But anyway, get me back on track here. So yeah, the people over here are really friendly and everything. And so now you've been here how long now?
Just over a month.
Just over a month. Okay. So how is it working out in comparison to the way you thought it would be 1 month into this? Is it meeting your expectations?
Oh, definitely. I guess the biggest thing is there were several things that we had to get taken care of, and once those happen, then focus changes a bit. Okay, we got a place to stay. It took a little longer than expected, but then we had an unexpected 2-week sort of vacation.
That's right.
That wasn't planned.
You started looking for a place, and you left the city that you wanted to live in and went someplace, and then had to sort of come back and start again.
But it all worked out for the best because as soon as we came back, this place came available.
The timing was perfect.
The timing just came out perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Between that, getting visas taken care of, these are just a couple hurdles that okay, once that got taken care of, now we both can relax. We don't have to worry about, okay, do we got to leave in a month, because our visas are going to expire or something like that.
Right.
So,
and now you've got your visas and everything taken care of. Now, let me ask you a question. What do you feel that you could live on comfortably on a monthly budget where right now your rent's about $200 a month?
correct.
How much do you think the average person, just to live, not an extravagant lifestyle, not run an air conditioner in every room 24 hours a day, but live in a moderate lifestyle, eating at restaurants, or maybe cooking a little food, what do you think it's going to cost on a monthly basis for somebody to live comfortably over here?
I think once they get settled, and there's always going to be an initial outlay of cash for whatever things.
Mm-hmm.
Even though, okay, this place was partially furnished, we have some furniture and stuff, there are still things we had to buy. But I honestly think, granted it's only been a month, we haven't even been in his house a month, but I really think it's going to be about $750, no more than $1,000 a month.
So you're familiar with my categories. Category 1 from $500 to $750, Category 2 from $750 to $1,000. So that falls right in the middle between the top end of Category 1, bottom end of Category 2.
Right.
You could live cheaper than that.
Oh, yeah.
Going out and pulling the weeds and
Yes.
cooking them like Thai people do.
Yes.
Not just kidding, because you can eat meals for how much? How much was?
I mean, just like
We ate
55.
3 meals. We ate 3 meals just a few minutes ago, and you had a Thai iced tea, and you had a Thai iced tea too.
Yeah.
And I had an iced coffee, and you all were nice enough to pick up the bill. What was the bill for us 3 having lunch with drinks?
That was 100 120 baht.
125 baht.
Right.
So that's
For 3
$4.
Right.
$4 for a full lunch for 3 people with drinks.
Right. And it's just literally right around the corner.
Yeah, it takes you 3 minutes to walk there, and the food was really good.
Really good.
Really good.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me ask you, Noi. This is going to be real simple. This was your home country, and you left, and you sort of just, you became an American, so to speak. I mean, being there so long.
Yeah.
And coming back to your home country, how does that feel?
It feels good.
Hmm.
You know, sometimes you wish that you never leave, but when you come back, you feel like home again. You see the food, everything is fresh.
Mm-hmm. Fresh food.
Yeah, you see the fish just come out from the lake, and you know, you don't see that in U.S.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Even the fish markets here, some of the fish are still wiggling around,
Yeah.
you know? Yeah, so it's fresh food. And
Yeah.
how about the price compared to the United States for a fish or for fruits and vegetables?
I want to say, and back Thailand is more cheaper.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, in U.S. is a way out of it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they charge so
Especially
much
seafood.
the
Oh,
tax.
yeah.
Seafood's crazy back in the United States. You know?
Unless
Yeah.
you're right on the coastline in some seaport or something. Yeah,
And even then, they're pricing it because they can sell it, shipping it out to
Right.
the markets more. You know, you're going to
Yeah.
pay local price for it. You know, the local price is actually the market price.
Right.
Yeah.
So, are you happy to be back?
Oh yes, yeah. I told him that all the time. I say I'm home.
Interesting.
I get up every morning. I can see all the food, lamyai, mango, and
Hmm.
yeah.
So, what is it that you missed about Thailand that now you have coming here? And it doesn't have to be things; it can be even feelings about.
Yeah, you know, you get to speak with your own language.
Yeah, that's a good thing. Sure.
You understand more.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, when I'm in U.S., I have hard time to understand in English.
Mm.
You know, sometimes when you try to pronounce, look like you can't pronounce too well.
Now you know how he feels here, right?
But this is a home. This is home, you know.
Now you know how he feels here, right? Trying to speak the language and not understanding when people talk. You understand
Yeah.
that, right? Yeah, sure, because you were there in America with
Yeah.
English language and everything.
Yeah,
At least here, though, I mean, most of the people, as long as you show the initiative, you know, and try, they're very tolerant of stuff. Whereas back in the States, if she's talking to some other people, they just, not everyone's like this, but there's the arrogance of people thinking, well, okay, I'm an American citizen and I'm better than everybody.
Well, you live here, you should be speaking our language and
Exactly.
speak it perfectly
Right.
and understanding, and
Yeah.
it isn't that easy.
No,
Yeah.
and
I mean-
I speak a little of 5 different languages, and after learning some languages, I'm like, wow, English is really hard.
Yeah, Gallagher, the comedian a long time ago, did a whole thing about the English language.
I've seen that. Oh,
Yeah, it's
that's
funny.
hilarious.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't
Yeah.
make sense.
It
The
doesn't.
rules don't make
We
sense.
have
you know?
more rules and more exceptions to the rules
Yeah.
than any other language.
yeah.
And that's when I'm like, wow, now I know why people have such a hard time.
Yeah,
learning
it's not
English.
an easy language to learn, for sure.
Yeah.
So, y'all are both happy being over
Oh,
here.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
We could,
sticky rice.
Sticky
Fresh.
rice.
Yeah, cow meal, they just cut it out, they steam. Oh,
And a bag of it's really expensive. To get a bag that you two can eat is how much?
what I buy?
And one bag that for like a
Oh,
meal.
20
Oh,
baht I
right.
still have.
yeah, like
left.
10 baht, you know.
10
Yeah,
baht.
10
yeah. I've seen it for 5 baht.
Right, right. So,
The two people could eat enough sticky rice. And you don't need to eat a lot of sticky
no, no,
rice either.
no.
That stuff will stick to your ribs.
Yeah, but I've always enjoyed it, but it's just so nice here, you know, and you just go down to the market, boop, there's a little bag, you know, 5, 10 baht for that, another 10 baht for something else, boom, okay, you got a meal.
How you doing on the transportation? Now, you're renting a bike.
I got a bike,
How
and
you doing with getting around? Some people are really fearful, and I say it's organized chaos. Just make every move, and you're gonna hear me harp on this constantly. If you come over, make every move slow
Right.
and deliberate,
Right.
so that they know what your intention is, and they'll constantly be going around you as you continue your movement.
It's-
And it's not something to panic about. It might be closer than what you're used to for the comfort level, but that's
Yeah.
just the way it is. How
right,
you
and if
doing?
they've never been in any Asian country, yes, I mean, it can definitely be terrifying.
Terrifying.
I've,
That wasn't the word I was hoping you were going to say.
Well, I mean, for first-time people, I can understand their concern, but once you drive around and you actually experience it for any length of time, you come to realize how polite they really are.
Mhm.
It looks like mass chaos, but I've never had anybody shout at me.
That's right.
Never had anybody give me the bird.
That's right.
I never had anybody get angry, shake their fist. Nothing.
Even when we did stuff that was...
Even when we did stupid things.
That's
okay.
right. They just sort of smile.
Yeah, they might not be happy, but
I've come around turns, blind corners, and there's somebody right there in my lane, and it's like we look at each other. They just smile and laugh, and that angers some foreigners. It's like we almost got killed, and they're laughing, and it's like, well, yeah.
Right.
What do you think they should scream and yell?
Right. That's the only time I see people get upset, and it's a foreigner. They'll get upset.
I did a video for that. I think for the membership site, I did that a whole about traffic and stuff, and said the only foreigners, the only people I see screaming and yelling.
True.
And I did the horn honking thing for YouTube about that.
And that's what I love here too.
Thailand,
you don't hear the
horns.
horn. Not like in Taiwan and other places I've been.
Vietnam, India, all those places.
They
Philippines
love
as well.
Right.
I remember going down the road in the Philippines. It was 1 o'clock in the morning, and there was nobody on the road. Nobody except the taxi driver. I'm in a taxi, and we're going down a main thoroughfare at a good rate of speed, and every side road, which weren't a light, there were no traffic lights, there was no yield sign, we got the right of way. And he would honk as we approached every intersection. There's not another car on the road.
Right.
And you could see in the middle of the steering wheel where the horn was, it was worn smooth.
Right.
Because it was just a habit to hit that horn at every intersection.
They
because
cannot live without the horn.
Yeah,
in those
it
countries.
signals, I honked first, I have the right of way. And that's, we don't have that here, which is really refreshing. I like that.
Definitely. Right.
So overall, are you happy?
Yes. Very happy.
Yes. Well, I mean, we don't have to work anymore.
Boy, that's tough.
Well,
That's hard, right? It's hard to get used to that one.
We don't have to work for someone else.
No.
I mean, there's always, we're in a house, so you're always going to have little maintenance.
Your work
things
is life
and stuff.
work.
Right. And that's what we enjoy doing, these little things.
Yeah.
Taking
There's
care of
there's a
the
saying that says, before enlightenment, I chopped wood and carried water. After I became enlightened, I chopped wood and carried water. That's
Exactly.
right. It's the things you do in life, and
Right.
learning to appreciate and take pleasure in those small things
Right.
is really what life is about.
Exactly.
And here we can do that because we're not so concerned about, can I pay the bill at the end of the month?
Right.
Or the stress that we face back home. If you have a little bit of money and you could derive a little bit now, because really traditional mom and pop, hard structures businesses are closing down.
Yeah.
More and more opportunities popping up online to be able to make a little bit of, and you don't have to. If you live in California, you want to do income online.
Right.
Man, you got to produce a lot of income.
Oh, right.
But over here, you don't have to produce that much, and you can
No.
get by really well.
No, even you
You go to
have,
the ATM machine and take the money out.
yeah, even you have a little bit of money, okay, you gonna doing fine to live in Thailand. You will, enjoy your life. You get up in the morning, you gonna hear the birds.
Pick some mangoes.
Oh yeah,
Pick some
that too.
bananas.
Yeah.
Pick some lumia.
Go see some rice field.
Yeah. I did a thing about the rice because I love it when the rice just starts
it's
coming up the
coming up,
green.
yeah.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
And the other day I was over and you brought a plate of fruit, cut up fruit for us
Yeah.
while we were talking.
Uh-huh.
Man, was that good. That was really good fruit.
And that's what, I mean,
Fresh.
you go down, it costs you, almost nothing for, all kinds of different fruits.
Yeah.
And you got to be open to certain things because they definitely got different types around here, but dragon fruit and other ones. But that's for anybody. I mean, if I understand, because I have some friends at home that are still very skeptical about why we came over here, and it's for a couple of reasons. One, because they didn't like being in Asia for whatever reason. And two is because others have never been to Asia before. They don't know what it's like.
I want to bring up something because this is what you just said too. And this is something if anybody's thinking about maybe coming over and living in another country, and it could be any country,
Yeah.
you're going to find people that when you tell them you're going to go, they're going to take it as a loss in their life. If you have a relationship with them, you're abandoning them.
Right.
They feel like, you're going off on your own and sort of like if you were in high school and your buddy says, I'm getting married and go start a family in another state, and you lost your best buddy. There's a sense of loss, and people don't respond to that sometimes in a really nice way. they lash out and try and say what you're doing is wrong, or you need to think about this, and you're making the wrong decision because they want you to stay.
Right.
And you got to realize it's because they want you to stay. It's not because what you're doing is wrong. It's just not for them, and they don't want to lose you. So keep that in mind, not to get caught up in that and feel the guilt of leaving and then stay in a place that you're not comfortable with. That's something you experienced with a friend that was like...
Exactly what happened with my best friend, and he seemed very depressed and down and out about the whole situation. But I just had to keep reiterating to him, says, this is what we want to do. We're comfortable with this, and we really want to do this. Now, we can still talk to each other, but we still got Skype.
Yeah. The communication's here. You can stay in touch with people very easily.
And quite honestly, unless it was football season, we didn't even see each other that often, but we did talk almost every day. But now that I finally got my internet up and going, I can start Skyping with him and communicating with him and stuff on a daily basis, so it should be fine. But some people just, that's the way they are. And then if they've never been to any Asian country before, there's a lot of uncertainty and hesitancy in doing anything like that. And that's why, like you mentioned, you have to come over here and do, at least one vacation, if not more, to see what it's like. Okay, maybe you don't like Thailand. Maybe you like, some other country better or whatever. I've been to several countries, and I definitely like certain countries better than others.
There's lately, and I don't know what it is, there must be something on the news or something, because I'm getting a hit of all these comments on YouTube and on my YouTube channel. And also members are mentioning the same thing in the membership section, and about what shots do I need, and what about dengue fever and all this stuff. And my response is, I write back and say, we live in a modern city. You don't need to worry about any of that stuff unless you're going to go out trekking, you're going to do Peace Corps work, you're going to do NGO work that's outside the city. Then, you need to get some shots and stuff. You might want to get maybe a hepatitis shot or something like that. And, of course, those are cheap over here. You could wait till you got here and get them. But the chances of getting tropical diseases living in a city, it'd be like getting them almost in New York. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it almost is the same. I mean, we have pesky mosquitoes, but in town, the pesky mosquitoes aren't usually dengue or malaria-carrying mosquitoes. It's a different breed of mosquito. And so, and we also have the foggers. Have you experienced the guys going by with the fogger yet?
I haven't seen them yet.
Yeah, they have foggers. They got the chemical, and they release a fog into the sewer, and they'll come up blocks away, and it kills all the mosquitoes in there. So we don't really need to worry so much about that. Well, I appreciate y'all doing the interview with me. It's always great to hear everybody's experiences and thoughts, and especially yours, having been, being a Thai person, returning back to your home country. This is, and I have other people. I hope they actually see this that have corresponded with me. Exactly the same situation. I've been in America. I've been there almost my whole life. I want to go back to my home country. My family doesn't want me to go. This comes back to what I was talking about before. No, why would you go leave us? But they have a yearning to get back to their home country, and so to hear your thoughts about that was really good as well. So thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome.
It was nice.
Thank you.
Thanks again. Glad to have you as a member in our membership community as well. You play a big part in that, and we have a great bunch of people in there communicating, and now they get to actually put a face and a voice to our chatting. We chat all the time with each other.
Any questions? I mean, by all means, they can email me or.
Well, they will now, for sure. Now they know who you are. Your anonymity is gone. We have usernames or screen names, and it's like, oh, well, who's that?
But it's definitely, to have someone on the inside is such an advantage for the little things, that kind of bug you. And,
I try and put detailed videos in the membership site, but what's more than that is the community sense of we're all talking about, it's like-minded people, that want the same thing. And then, before you come over, it's all, the questions are, passing back and forth about what's this going to be like. And now that you're here, now you're passing on information on what it is like and helping them before they come over. So it's a really great resource. I'm really happy the way things are turning out.
Well, what it was, people don't take the chance because they're so afraid.
Yeah, absolutely.
Even people from Thailand, You born here, you live here, you speak your language. You go live in United States or somewhere else, and then you're afraid to come back. I don't understand why.
Yeah, well, they feel like it's not their home anymore, you know.
No,
But
It's-
as
it's
you know,
always home.
especially in Asian countries,
Yeah.
they're kind to us. Thai people coming back. You know, we talked about that at lunch. You know,
Yeah.
the village comes out to greet you. You know,
Yeah.
the whole village comes to greet you if you come
Yeah,
back.
yes, they do.
Yeah.
It's an event, and even when I go back up to the village I used to live in as a foreigner, you know, everybody comes out to say hi. You know, welcome back.
See?
So, anyway, well, thanks again.
Okay.
I
yeah.
appreciate your time. Hope that's been
Anytime,
helpful, and you all want to join me. And remember, when it comes to living over in Asia, there's
It's always
Always an
an
option.
option.
all right. Thanks, JC. Out.